Hi guys, how are you? I hope you are fine. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you have not yet subscribed. Let's come on the topic. We can see that there is a boy who is protagonist, whose name is Seo Jun-ho, and a girl who is Frost Queen. She said to protagonist, "You have encountered the Frost Queen. How does it feel, getting here by abandoning your comrades to die?" Protagonist said to her, "I am going to die. They are not ones to crack that easily. Would not everything be over if I just kill you?" Queen started laughing and said to him, "Over. You really are ignorant about this world." Protagonist came in anger and said, "Shut it, I ain't got time to fool around. I will kill you and end this nightmare." There was huge fight between Frost Queen and protagonist. Queen said to him, "That was fun." Protagonist said, "I cannot say the same." Then there was message to protagonist that, "You are absorbing the Frost Queen power." He said, "What in the?" There was another message, "Your body will go into hibernation until you have fully absorbed the Frost Queen nucleus." Protagonist was completely covered in the ice. On the other hand, there was news that, 76 hours ago, Antarctica, the final dungeon located there, Frost Queen nest. There were 5 heroes who were finding Frost Queen. Someone said to Kali, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Kali said, "Is not asking the rest of us to die." There was message that only one person go upstairs. There was a girl who said to Kali, "Calm down, we do not have lot of time left. We need to decide carefully." Protagonist said to girl whose name was Skaya, "I believe that Spectre should be the one to go." Another was standing there. He said, "I agree with Skaya opinion, with the exception of Spectre. We are at a disadvantage against ice-based abilities. I am frustrated that I cannot be the one to go." Kali said to him, "But there really is no one quite like Spectre. I concede." Then Skaya said, "Since Kali accepted it this quickly, we should take it as that we are all of the same opinion." Kali said to her, "Hey, what is that supposed to mean?" Skaya replied to him, "I do not think I have to say this. But I also think it is best if Spectre is the one who goes." Protagonist said to all of them that were standing there, "Then it is settled. Are you sure you guys would not regret this?" They said, "Regret?" A guy replied to him, "We might, if you lose against the Frost Queen, and we all die a meaningless death." Protagonist replied to him, "We trust you." Skaya said, "I know you would not make our death in vain, is not that right?" They said to protagonist, "If it is you, you can do this." Then after 25 years, it was 2024, someone addressing on the stage to group of people, monsters that humanity could not handle appeared. The Frost was a logic-defying monster that froze the Pacific Ocean with a single wave of the hand. Everyone despaired at her appearance, but 5 heroes still carried on the flames of hope, heading to Antarctica. Then a guy raised his hand and said to Speaker, "The Nest attack team." Speaker said to him, "That is right, despite your age. You are very smart." He further said, "The legendary players made the greatest achievement in history. They are who we call the 5 heroes. Everyone, please show your respect." Thanks to the 5 heroes, the Frost Queen was defeated and numerous safe zones appeared on the Earth. After that, then, Guy interrupted Speaker and said, "The ice statue just moved." Speaker said to him, "I am sorry. That is incorrect. The inside of this reinforced glass wall is temperature controlled 24/7. So nothing may happen to the ice statues." She said, "That is right. Ice statue is moving. There is no way something could happen." After all this time, on the other hand, there was message to protagonist, absorption rate 100%. Congratulations. He was feeling too cold. There was another message, "You have completely absorbed the Frost Queen nucleus. You have received the new skill Frost X." On the other hand, Speaker and other people who were sitting there began to running and saying, "What in the world is going on?" There was news on the screen that legends awakened from a long slumber. Return of Spectre, the greatest player that defeated the Frost Queen 25 years ago. News reporter was saying that Player Association announces, "We will prioritize the health of the hero above all else, greatest amount ever based during the Day of Heroes commemorative fundraiser." Protagonist was also listening the news. He said, "It has been 25 years, I have been frozen for so long, my whole body feels weak. I can barely grip my hands. 25 years, my body is still shaking." Then a doctor came near to protagonist and said to him, the president of Player Association is on his way right now. Protagonist said to him, is it someone I know? If it is someone I do not know, I will send them away. I hate being bothered. Doctor said to him, yes, you may know him. He always spoke about how Spectre Nim was his close friend. Protagonist said, friend. There are not a lot of people who would call me their friend. On the other hand, 4 heroes that were away from the protagonist said, thanks for the heads up. Protagonist said, well, I suppose I will. Now once we meet. Protagonist was thinking that the world really has changed. It is what you guys wished for, a peaceful world. He further said, so what I am supposed to do now? All I know how to do is fight. He said, am I unemployed? Well, I guess it's whatever. I do not need this mask anymore. Doctor said to him, why did you take off your mask? Protagonist replied to him, that is because it is a peaceful world. You guys do not need heroes anymore, right? Doctor said to protagonist, hey, what is wrong? Then a man whose name was Doc Gu. He said to his men, let me explain that for you, Doc. Gu came near to protagonist. Protagonist said, perhaps you are Doc Gu. Doc Gu said to Doctor, I would like to have private conversation with him. Doctor said to him, yes sir. Doc Gu said to him, you look exactly the same. Protagonist said to him, this voice. It really is you, Doc Gu. Doc Gu said to him, see, what did I tell ya? Protagonist said to him, did or I did not tell you that you would have pattern baldness? Doc Gu said to him, is that the first thing you have to say after all this time? No. The bastard Jun-Ho that I knew was always like this. I am stupid for expecting a touching reunion. Protagonist said to him, that is what you were expecting from me. So even after 25 years they still have not cured baldness. Doc Gu said to him, you have not changed one bit. You still just the same. Though you look a little different now. Protagonist said to Doc Gu, what was up with doctor reactions just now? Why are they so shocked? Why everything should be over? Doc Gu was hesitating too. Replying, he said, well, so the thing is, 25 years ago the moment you guys clear the queen nest, all the players heard the same exact message, congratulations, the Frost Queen has been defeated. Safe zone will now appear on the area Earth, he said to protagonist, Jun-Ho, you did it. Everyone across the world rejoiced, crying tears of joy, but the world did not let the joy last for even a minute because there was message that a dimensional elevator has been installed in the 2nd floor. Moving to the frontier area is now possible. People were very shocked by hearing that message. They began to say to each other, what nonsense is this? A 2nd floor, are you telling the Frost Queen was not? And there was also message to people that stay strong until the last floor. Doc Gu further said that there was area where players and politicians gathered for meeting. After a long meeting at that place, they send an expedition squad to the frontier because 2nd floor was the land of opportunities. Not only did humanity obtain new magic and technology, but they also gained access to large amount of resources and knowledge. Protagonist said to Doc Gu, and then what? Doc Gu replied to him, that created the current affluent Earth. Protagonist said to him, that is not what I want to know. Doc Gu said to 10 total floors in the dimensional elevator. Protagonist said, 10 floor. It took me and my comrades 5 years to defeat the Frost Queen. In 25 years, if they cleared 5 floors they should be at the 7th floor, except for my party, the rest of the players were far weaker in comparison. That was also why only the 5 of us went to Antarctica, so realistically speaking, they are probably around the 5th floor. Protagonist said to Doc Gu, so what floor are we on? Dude, tell me, why are you being silent? Doc Gu replied to him, in the last 25 years, humanity has only been able to clear up to the 2nd floor. Protagonist came in anger and said, I do not have anything to say. After all that time, you are telling me you guys only beat the 2nd floor. It might seem like an excuse, but there is a good reason. Fine, I will hear you out only because I am curious. Protagonist came in anger and said to Doc Gu, how much of a fucking dumb reason it is. Doc Gu replied to him, the 3rd floor is a volcanic region, that is why a Handful of players that can resist the heat of the magma are able to explore. After a long time, we were able to find an altar in the middle of the sea of lava. The altar requires the Frost Queen nucleus in order to cool down in the environment. Protagonist asked to him, "So, did you guys find the nucleus?" Doc Gu replied to him, "Sorry, I am so ashamed. We searched the nest countless times but we could not find it." In the end, Protagonist said, "That should be a given since I absorbed it. It cannot be helped, you guys. We're just unlucky. Everyone makes mistakes, we should have understanding of that, so if I also make a mistake, you have to be understanding, alright?" Doc Gu replied to Protagonist, "Of course. How could I not?" Protagonist was thinking that, when should I tell him to hear the least amount of nagging? Protagonist said to Doc Gu, "Anyways, tell me about your life. How have things been?" "Do not even get me started. What I did was..." Doc Gu watched time and said, "It is already this late, are you hungry? Is there anything you want to eat?" Protagonist said to him, "I am good on grub." He saw about Seoul History Museum on his phone and said to Doc Gu, "Is that place really that famous?" Doc Gu said to him, "I am going down to the first floor now. It is crawling with properties and people below. It will just be inconvenient for you if you go together. Could not you just have said go out the side emergency entrance by yourself? Come right back to the hospital once you are done, roger that." There was message received by Protagonist. Authentication successful. Protagonist moved to see other 4 heroes on the he saw skeleton. He said, "Damn, that put thing on display here." He was searching other 4 heroes. At one place, he said, "It must be here." He opened a door. They were standing there and they were sealed with ice. He said to them, "I am sorry, I am late." Protagonist said to them, "Did you guys know? The world is better place now. We protected the peace that we so dreamed of." They said, "So now, rest in peace." Protagonist said to them, "Here, have a drink." He asked to them, "The alcohol tastes sweet, does not it?" Skaya said, "Ah, shit." Protagonist said to her, "You are covered in the dust." There was message given to Protagonist that, confirmed possession of skill Frost X. Insufficient magic stats. You have failed at removing the seal with the Frost X skill. You are able to remove the seal on ice status. Protagonist said, "What? I can break the seal, I can bring these guys back." He saw on the screen and said, "What? My magic stat is 18. Is this on purpose? It does not seem like I will be able to do in a day or two, but it is still possible." Frost X was written on the screen. Protagonist said, "This is the key." He think that, Doc Gu always said that S grade was the highest. I am probably the first, but my magic is a problem. He saw about Floor Master on the screen. He said, "Did I get this after killing the Frost Queen?" He said, "Wait, all stats go up by 30 every time I go up a floor on the dimensional elevator. With this effect, if I suppose that I can go back to my original level as I go up the floors, not only will I be able to get a lot stronger than before, I can make Frost Queen power my own, and then I can meet this ice to save everyone." He said, "Just wait a bit, I will get you out of there." Doc Gu said to Protagonist, "You want to be a player again?" Protagonist said to him, "Why are you so surprised? You already knew. I do not know how to do anything except that." Doc Gu replied to him, "It is so sudden. In the past, you would sing about how you wanted to retire." Protagonist said to him, "That was 25 years ago." Doc Gu said to him, "Anyways, I do not think it is a good idea." Protagonist asked to him, "Why?" Doc Gu said to him, "Well, I want you to rest up." Protagonist replied to him, "It is because of fiends, players who use their awakened power to commit crimes and commit murder. They are like tumors in society." Protagonist asked to him, "They are back then, they did not have space to breathe." Doc Gu told to him, "That was then. There are no CCTV on the second floor, and no country has a means to contain them anymore. They must be hung a field day. And since you are not around," Protagonist said to him, "I think I know why you do not want me to go back to being player. They still hate me. Do not they?" Doc Gu replied to him, "They will go crazy thinking about killing you." Protagonist said to him, "Ah, really?" Doc Gu said to him, "So just forget it." The only way you can return safely is to throw the specter name away. And go back as Jun-Ho. But why would you want to do that? Protagonist replied to him, 10th floor, I need to get there. Doc Ji-yu asked to him, why? Protagonist said to him, you have not found a way to clear the lava zone in the 3rd floor. Right, Doc Ji-yu said, of course not. Protagonist said to him, what if I told you I knew a way? Doc Ji-yu was very surprised by listening that he said, what? Do you have an idea? Protagonist said to him, you said you needed the Frost Queen nucleus, right? He looked at the pan and said, I ate it. Doc Ji-yu said to him, oh, you are done with the Xiaolongtang. Protagonist said to him, not that. Doc Ji-yu said to him, not the Xiaolongtang. You ate the nucleus. Protagonist said to him, I did not do it because I wanted to. As soon as I defeated her, it forced itself into my body. What was I supposed to do about it? Doc Ji-yu said, why you? He came in anger and his blood pressure gone high. Protagonist said to him, anyways, I have the frost skill now. Then Doc Ji-yu asked to him, so, can you handle the 3rd floor with it? I think so. Is the reason you are coming back related to your comrades? Protagonist said, yeah. Doc Ji-yu said to him, that is good to hear. Protagonist said, right. Doc Ji-yu said to him, then, I will deal with the doctors who saw your face for you now. It is the least I could do. Protagonist said to him, you are the best, Doc Ji-yu. He further said, oh, and my abilities were sealed, so I am level 1 right now. Doc Ji-yu said, bingo. My blood pressure. Protagonist said to him, oh, right. Can you get me a new player license? Doc Ji-yu said to him, oh, I forget to tell you. The guilds are more powerful than the association right now. Protagonist said to him, so you cannot get me a license. Doc Ji-yu replied to him, no, I can. The big guilds have made it a custom to attend the licensing exams. And you can only get your license by taking the public exam. I cannot help you with that. Protagonist said, that is annoying. Doc Ji-yu said to him, compared to before it is. This is a good chance for you, though. Think about it. If I want to fully support you, I need a good pretext. How do you think we can get that? Protagonist said, oh ho, in other words, I have to get the best results, so that everyone will want me. Alright, I got it. I am looking forward to exam. Protagonist moved to player association, that is license exam site. Examiner said to protagonist, your number is 75 inches. He was thinking that I had to spend quite a bit of money. Examiner said to him, please wait here until it's your turn. Protagonist was thinking that the atmosphere is pretty casual here. It will be a while before my turn. Shall I listen in on what the others test takers are talking about? He activated the skill of enhanced hearing. There was message that Watchguard of Darkness skill, enhanced hearing, has been activated. There was also message that, did you see the news? The ancient dungeon on the 2nd floor has finally, protagonist said, they said that the examiner for today is none other than President Shim Doc Ji-yu. Ha, if I fail again, it will be the 4th time. Protagonist said, it is pretty peaceful. Examiner said, number 1 please enter. Number 1. Player enter and fight was started with monsters. Protagonist was also watching him carefully. Other people were also watching and saying that, wow, his fighting spirit is pretty strong. The monster are steeping back in intimidation. A guy said to other guy, he will pass pretty easily. I am jealous. Other guy replied to him, who knows? Protagonist was watching the fighter carefully and was thinking that the spear is best for securing the space around its user, but when your opponent starts to close the distance, waving your spear around like that would not do you any good. Examiner said, first applicant fail. Protagonist said, so, it will keep progressing like that. Finally examiner said number 75. They were feeling tired and said, we are almost done. Examiner said to other, I did not like any of the applicants today. Another examiner said, they did not even meet the basic requirements, let's wrap up this. Examiner said, please send in the next applicant. They were very shocked to see protagonist and said, that, who is that guy? A sword, bow throwing knives, dagger and even a spear. He really brought every weapon with him. He is all skinny. He does not look like he can take care of himself. Then a lady examiner said, "It is another one of those Spectre copycats." Another examiner said, "I did tell him to stand out." Well, this should be interesting. Examiner said to protagonist, "Number 75, are you ready? The exam will begin." There were 20 dwarves. Their average size is 130 cm. They are physically weaker than average human male. While watching them, protagonist said, "It reminds me of the old days." There was fight between protagonist and dwarves. As soon as defeat them, then more dwarves appear. Protagonist said, "What is the point in that? Behind me these rats keep trying to sneak up on me." Dwarves started running away from protagonist. He said to them, "There is no use in running away." He used his archery skill to kill them. Protagonist said, "The one who taught me archery is the famous marksman. His name is Gilbert Green." Then dwarves began running toward him. He used his dagger to kill him and he said of that guy is the last one. There was announcement number 75. "You passed. Congratulations." Protagonist said, "I am already in pain after this match. I really should start my body up again." Examiner said, "Amazing, I do not know what else to say, he is amazing." Lady examiner said, "My eyes deceived me, he was not just a copycat." Another examiner said, "He managed the spear, threw the knives and shot the arrows accurately, and even his swordsmanship was clean and precise at the end. His skill with the weapons is extraordinary. To think that he would be able to do all that with such a frail looking body." Examiner examined his profile and said, "But if you look at his profile, his only skill is weapon proficiency, and he is only D rank at that." Examiner started to thinking that D rank. He said, "It is even a sub-skill. If his only main skill is D rank, it would be waste to train him. There will be too many limitations as his level up." They started to thinking that his combat skill is desirable, but Lady examiner said, "It would not be worth the investment. It is best to avoid the loss. There is no need to go down a difficult path." Then a examiner said, "With this, there would be any trouble if we pre-cut him into the association. I think we have reached the conclusion. I only feel bad for fabricating his profile." Finally they stamped on his profile that he has been passed. Doc Gu was very happy because protagonist was passed. Protagonist was enjoying by reading the novel. While reading the novel he said, "The reality is the most famous player in the world that every looks up to discharged after 2 days." There was message that Spectre. That this guy right here, Doc Gu said, "I have to hold in, I have to hold in, I have to." He said to protagonist, "What are you reading?" He replied to Doc Gu, "I am reading the novel. The main character is a priest, but they just fight instead of healing." Doc Gu asked to him, "Are they crazy?" Protagonist said, "Right." Doc Gu said to protagonist, "Anyways, take a seat, I brought the stuff you asked for." Protagonist showed him novel that he was reading. Doc Gu said to him, "Why did you ask for information on the uncleared gates? You are not thinking of going to them at your current level, are you?" Protagonist replied to him, "I am going. Why else would I ask for them?" He was searching something on the screen, he saw something on it and he said, "This is cool." He further said to Doc Gu, "What? Do you know what it means if they have not been cleared? Did you think I would have forgotten? Gates are filled with monsters and traps that indiscriminately attack human, and among them, there are gates that are so gangrenous that not even the corpses of players are left behind. These gates which have never been cleared are called uncleared gates. These are restricted areas. Those are the only gates that beginners can go to, though. That is why it's even more dangerous. High-level players are not even allowed to go in. Novices go in for the rewards, but then they all die." Doc Gu asked to him, "And with the way your body is right now, is not it too much for you?" Protagonist replied to him, "Why are you worried? Do not you know who I am? Plus, are not the uncleared gates a headache for the association?" Doc Gu said to him, "That is true." Protagonist said to him, "But I cannot let my friend go to such a dangerous place. I know this is supposed to be a touching moment, but I am still going. I have a lot to gain from this." Doc Gu replied, "Gain?" Protagonist replied to him, "The rewards in gate increase as time passes. The gates that have not been cleared in years will drop a ton of express." Doc Gu asked to him, "So, the only reason you are going to level up a bit faster?" Protagonist replied to him, yeah, that is the reason. Doc Ji said to him, did you forget that you already died once? Cannot you do this in a safer way? Protagonist replied to him, my comrades are waiting in this very moment for me to free them. They would do the same thing if they were in my shoes. Doc Ji said to him, even so, there is no reason for you to do this the dangerous way. Protagonist replied to him, that is not the only reason. Since I have returned as a player, I will clash with the fiends eventually. Time is not on my side. When I encounter them, I have to be strong enough to fight back. Doc Ji said to him, I did not think that far, I did not know you were feeling so much pressure. Protagonist think about his past, that how he was fighting. Then he said to Doc Ji, I would not call it pressure. But he does not need to know it. I can do anything about it. Doc Ji said to him, I will look for gates you can go to. He searched on the screen and said, oh no, there is only one gate you can go to at your level. Protagonist asked to him, which one? Doc Ji told him that it appeared 7 years ago and 142 people have attempted to clear it. Only players that are level 1 can go in, so they call it the novice's grave. Protagonist said, the clear condition seems pretty easy. Doc Ji said, I am pretty confident. He saw on his watch and said, oh, your down payment came in. Protagonist replied, yes, I see. Doc Ji said to him, with this you are contractually tied to the association. From today onward, you will be my underling for a year. Protagonist was surprised by listening that he said, what? Underling? Protagonist said to him, okay, I will show you what a servant truly is. Doc Ji said, calm down Seo Jun Ho. Protagonist came into the house of Doc Ji and said to him, about housing, can I just stay here? The association has residential building for players, do not they? Doc Ji said to him, that is a good idea, you will be safer here. Protagonist said to him, give me a good room. Doc Ji replied to him, sigh, your wish is my command, if you do well, I could even give you a whole floor. Protagonist said to him, you are the one that will be ordering me around anyways. Doc Ji took a box near to Protagonist. He said to Doc Ji, Fufu, and open the box. It is your armor. Armor. You did not bring me something weird, did you? Hurry up and open it. He opened the box and there was a jacket that was light and durable. Protagonist was very happy and he said to Doc Ji, this is really nice. Where did you get something like this? Doc Ji replied to him, Fufu, of course it is. That is because it was made by Quan Noyage. Protagonist was surprised by listening that and he said to Doc Ji, what? That old man is still alive. Protagonist said, the old man is still alive. He is 98, this year. Doc Ji said to him, he handed down the workshop to his grandson, but he still works there. Protagonist said, really, if that is the case, I should go there to thank him in person. Doc Ji said to him, you cannot. Protagonist said to him, what? Why? Doc Ji said to him, we have to be on guard for your safety. Protagonist said to him, are you suspicious of Quan Noya? Doc Ji replied to him, it is not him that I am suspicious of. Protagonist said to him, so they have eyes on the workshop. Doc Ji said to him, exactly, the fiends know about the relationship between Quan Noya and Spectre. If you go meet him right now, it is the same as revealing your identity. Protagonist said to him, you are right. If I reveal overseas as a novice to meet that Quan Noya, people will notice. Doc Ji said to him, I told him that I am supporting you, so he will understand. Protagonist said to him, there is nothing we can do. Doc Ji said to him, I will just need to get stronger and then seek him out. Protagonist said to him, tell him that I said thanks. Doc Ji said to him, all right, leave it to me. Protagonist said, what weapon should I use? Doc Ji replied, the warehouse probably has some good stuff. Use whatever you want. Protagonist said to him, I am looking forward to it. Doc Ji replied, yeah, just don't expect something at Quan Noya level. He said to Protagonist, so when will you leave? Protagonist replied to him, well, I was thinking that I would go right away, but I think I should improve my stamina first. He was thinking that just taking that exam sapped all my energy. If my stamina low, I would not be able to fight against either fiends nor the monsters. These clothes are loose too. Doc Gu asked to him, you look good. How long will it take? A month. Protagonist replied to him, that is too long, do not you think? Doc Gu think, a month is too long. Protagonist said, 10 days is enough. 10 days later. Protagonist reached at Namyang Province Chinoma Mountain. There was written that, path is closed. Keep out. Protagonist said, let do this. There was gate, its name was, Curse of Dawn, and there was clear condition that, you can survive until the sun rises. Protagonist entered there and he said, it feels pretty cozy. There was also a grave. He again said, it feels pretty cozy, I guess I am slowly going crazy. There was information on the screen that, this gate is not difficult. Protagonist said, the goal is simple. I just need to survive until the sun rises. I came here at a good time. After look through the data I found that the groups who went in the early morning survived the longest and that time inside the gate is different. Those who went in the afternoon had no time to adjust to the time difference and probably had to fight right away. In the end, there was nothing they could do because there were only level 1 players. On the other hand, I have experienced all sorts of things. There was voice that, give me everything you have got. Protagonist said, there is this weird, gross feelings like I am being haunted. Maybe it is the undead. This will be annoying. Then a monsters arrived there and caught leg of Protagonist. Protagonist said to him, I knew it. He picked his sword and said to monster, no, there is no need to come out. Go back inside and rest. Protagonist said, I can sense a lot of monsters here. There was message that, night has come, Hunter Night, has been activated. All senses have been enhanced. Then suddenly a lot of monsters came out there and attacked collectively on the protagonist. There was message given to protagonist that, undead monsters are hard to deal with if you are a novice, especially if they are zombies. They do not feel pain and they cannot take any fatal hits. They ignore the player damage and only focus on attacking. They are perfect for causing panic to novices who do not have any recovery skills. Protagonist said, I understand why it is called Novice's Grave. Then a monster moved forward to attack but protagonist handled it and said to him, but I am two-time rookie. I am not so weak that I will fail to the likes of you. Then too much monsters arrived there. Protagonist fought with them and he was feeling very tired. He sat down behind a grave. He heard a voice. He was very surprised to heard the voice. He said, where are you? Then there was voice that, person, oh over here. Protagonist said, are you down here? Then there was voice that, yes here. Then protagonist sat down and started digging the place and he said, how did you get in here? I trusted my friends and followed them here. They all died except for me. There was voice that, sob, please help me get out of here. Protagonist said to him, I got it. Before that can you yell really loudly? There was voice that, yell, why? Protagonist said to him, I have to find your exact location. There was voice of quadruple A. Protagonist said, so that where the head is, there was a tricker there engraved. Protagonist fired at him and said, I thought this gate was too easy to have killed over 100 people. You were the one that made this the novice grave, or not you? Tricker said to him, you are here. How? There is no way. There would be someone left alive in an uncleared gate. After the fight has started, the gate would not open. If there even just one player left alive. The players from before probably knew this too, but sometimes you act without thinking. Protagonist said, no wonder. Even though there were zombies, it would not have been that hard to defeat them all. It was all because of the tricker. There was message that all hostile monsters have been killed. You have successfully cleared Curse of Dawn. Then protagonist saw his stat and stamina on the screen and said, I went up 4 levels. Do my stats go up every 5 levels? They did not go up by much. But I should be happy with what I have, he was thinking. That is all. Really. There was another message on the screen that, you have received the skill, Confession of the Dead, as a clear reward. Protagonist said, geez, that scared me. I really thought that was it. I am so happy. I was gonna get some random item. But I got a new skill. There was message on the screen that, you have received skill of Confession of Dead of ranked century. Its effect is this. That It allows you to peek into the memories of dead. Protagonist said, memory, reading skill. If I can only read the memories of the dead, he was thinking that, did I get this skill because I killed the undead tricker? The conditions are specific, but I can make use of this. This is a new skill I got not as a specter but as a player. I am excited. Then he returned to the office of Doc Gu. Doc Gu was reading newspaper and he said, God, really, ever since you have come back, the world would not shut up. I cannot get a single day off. You look pretty happy, though. There was written on newspaper that, Gate, Curse of Dawn, cleared in one day. Doc Gu said to Protagonist, it is entertaining to watch those naughty guild bustards get so flustered. Protagonist replied to him, must be nice for you. Guilds do not usually take care of uncleared gates, so why are the properties bothering with them? Doc Gu replied to Jun Ho, by the way, are you really not gonna reveal yourself? Protagonist replied to him, nope, it is not time yet. Doc Gu said to him, if they find out that you cleared the uncleared gate, you will be highly sought after. Protagonist replied to him, do you know why people buy luxury goods even though they are mass-produced in the same factory? Doc Gu replied to him, because they are expensive. Protagonist said to him, yup, they are special because not just anyone can buy them. Doc Gu asked to him, so, you will become a luxury item. Protagonist replied to him, not just any luxury item. An item that everyone wants but does not know where to find. A legendary limited edition. Doc Gu said to him, so you will get them riled up, is what you are saying. That is right, you have a bad personality. Sometimes. Be honest, your blood type is not it. Still I cannot leave them hanging for too long. He was thinking that people who are quick-witted will figure it out. Would not this guy show up at other uncleared gates? They will think. Reporters will show up at the uncleared gates too. Protagonist said, I do not have to be so undignified as to announce myself. The world gradually come to know. Doc Gu asked to him, God, since when have you cared about dignity? Protagonist said, what? Doc Gu said to him, never mind that, you want to eat. Protagonist replied, it has not been that long since I ate. Doc Gu said to him, you need to eat more. Protagonist began to exercising. He put all his body weight on one hand and was saying that 70, 71, 72 and it is 73. Then he fall down. There was message that, strength stat has increased by 1. Protagonist sat down, drank the water and said, I finally feel alive. He said let see about gates. There was written on the screen that, gate ruptures are getting bigger. Gate does not seem far from opening. He searched about Loof Garden. There was written on the screen that, it appeared 9 years ago. Korea oldest uncleared gate. If a gate is left for too long, monsters will start coming out of it. They are then called open gates. The government and association offered a huge reward to clear the Loof Garden. People all over the country took the change, but there were 124 attempts and 124 failures. So, they had no choice but to leave it to other countries. They spent a small fortune to hire the super rookie from India. His name was Tushar Vishy. He was a genius with bow. In term of potential, he could have reached Gilbert Green level or even surpassed him. But he failed and everyone lost hope in clearing Loof Garden. A 22-year-old player with a bright future met his end. Just like that. Protagonist said, what a shame, it goes without saying that could have been me. That is why I have to prepare even more thoroughly. I just raised my strength stat by exercising, so all my stats except magic are above 30 now. This should be enough. My stats at the higher and for my level. But if even a rising star like Tushar failed to clear the gate, I cannot leave out the possibility that there is some hidden threat lurking around. I will prepare thinking up every situation that I possibly can. Since I can use the frost skill now, I have started getting used to it. I wonder how strong it will be in an actual fight. Protagonist reached in the Loof Garden. There was written on the screen that level require for clearing. This is 5 to 10 in party cap, 4 people required. Protagonist said, the clear condition this time is to defeat all the monsters. I do not know how many Luffs will come out. But if parties of 4 failed, that means there was some sort of hidden trap that took them out. Suddenly a pattern appeared there. Protagonist looked at that and said, What is that? From now, I should stay away from that suspicious area. He was thinking that Luffs come out at night, so I should just take it easy. All these monsters are nocturnal. Then there was sudden appearance of monsters. Protagonist said, geez, that scared me. Protagonist said to them, you should just tell me if you are gonna come out. There was message on the screen that, night has come, all senses have been enhanced. Protagonist said, there is only 2 of them so far, what a lukewarm greeting. Then there was fight between monsters and protagonist. There was frozen ice on the tip of protagonist axe. He said, this is great. The Frost Queen power sure is. Is this a monster wave? Well, 2 monsters are too little. There was fight between him and monsters. He killed them easily. He said, it is already over. That was quick. Then there was arrival of lot of monsters. Protagonist was surprised by watching them. He said, when did they gather this much? There is at least twice as many. Protagonist said, do not tell me. They multiply when they are killed. He came in anger, mood and said, how many are there? These bastards. There was a great fight between him and monsters. Protagonist said, I am so tired. How many hours has it been? It is so exhausting, but it is not impossible to clear. But something is bothering me. Even though I have the X-grade frost skill. If it is only this difficult, 4 people should have been enough. Among the players that have attempted this gate over the past 9 years, there were strong ones with lots of potential. Not only that, the super rookie Tushar Vishy was one of them. Protagonist was thinking that, from what I have seen, he should have been able to clear at least half of them by himself. And if he had teammates, he should have been able to clear it. But why did he fail? There was message that, protagonist, you have cleared Loof Garden. Protagonist said, I saw my life flash before my eyes. Well, as long as I am not dead, it is fine. I wonder how I got here. What was this place again? There were bodies of dead monsters. Protagonist said, I can smell the bodies. Were they trying to run away? The maze only ended up wasting their time. There was message that, if you cannot block the wave, this is just a dead end. Protagonist saw the wall and said, this is the end. Then he looked at a dead body. That was the dead body of Tushar Vishy with a glittering bow in his hand. Protagonist said, that bow, if I recall correctly, that is Tempest. He said to dead body, please, excuse me. There was another message that, if you shoot an arrow with this bow, it flies around unpredictably like a butterfly. People would say it was like the wind during a storm, hence its name. The Indian government rented it to Tushar Vishy. Protagonist said, so is this him? Then I saw a notebook under the hand of monster. He said, I wonder who the owner is. He read the book and it was written at the book, April 7, 2044, 12:40 p.m. I was commissioned to clear the Loof Gate in Korea. There was a complete story about the death of Tushar Vishy. Vishy was saying to a man, really? You are asking me? I will do it. Do whatever it takes. Man said to him, Vishy, think it over. It has not been cleared. After all these years, you might not return. Vishy replied to him, the Koreans came all this way to ask me for help. How could I turn them down? It goes against the teachings of Vishnu. I am level 10 right now. It is my only chance to enter the Loof Garden. I have to do it. He said to his wife. Her name was Zaya. You are really coming with me? She replied to Vishy, yeah, of course I am. I believe in you, Vishy. I will follow you wherever you go. If you said you would go alone, I would have found a way to sneak in. I am so happy you asked me to go with you. Thank you, Vishy. I have to protect you. Vishy said to his wife. Protect me? Why? You protect me. I am glad you are coming, Zaya. There is no one else I would trust to have my back. You know that, right? Zaya replied to him, of course I do. I am your partner. Vishy said, yeah, we will clear it, no matter what it takes. Then another said man reached home. His daughter said to him, Dad. He replied, my baby. He picked him up. She said to her daddy, where are you going? He replied to her, I am going to work. I will be right back, so make sure to listen to grandma, okay? She said, okay, then we will go to see the animals together after, promise. He kissed her daughter and said, of course, listen to your grandma. And do not skip your meals. He said to Tushar Vishy, let's go. Vishy said to him, I am sorry that it turned out like this. Man said to him, it is my first time going on such a long business trip, but mother is here and I cannot say no when you are asking me for help, Vishy replied. To him, thank you, man said to Vishy, since I am going with the hot super rookie, I need to get my share. Vishy replied to him, ha ha ha, alright, you better look forward to it. They reached at New Delhi Indira Gandhi International Airport. They landed Korea on next day. A lady was very happy, she greeted with Vishy and said to him, it has been a while. Thanks for coming. Zaya keep begging me to help. On April 23, 2044 at 4:12 p.m. Vishy was practicing with the same glittering bow that protagonist had found in the Louvre garden. Vishy said, tomorrow is the day, I am doing pretty good today, I have a good feeling about this. On April 24, 2044 at 11:37 p.m. They entered Louvre garden. Vishy looked at the garden and said, it is beautiful. It is first time seeing a gate like this. He saw a dungeon. Vishy said, this is a dungeon. I cannot get distracted. From now, let's scout the area. On April 24, 2044, at 8:33 p.m., there was fight between Vishy and monsters. Vishy said, 8 of them. Is not that too little? They are coming again. There are 32 this time. He said to his wife and another along him, be careful. Take the others and go. Zaya said to Vishy, run. Run to the maze. Hurry up. Vishy said, every time we defeat the wave, the increase in number, are they doubling number each time? This dungeon is crazy. Then man fall down, because he was injured badly during fighting. He said to Tushar Vishy, take care of my daughter, then. Man died, they buried him there. Vishy was crying and he said, one of our comrades died from his injuries. On April 25, 2044, at 7:12 p.m. The sun was setting. Vishy was saying that, O great Shiva, grant mercy unto us, he said, so that I can write in this diary again tomorrow. Vishy was thinking that, we defeated the 4th wave of Louvre garden last night. The 5th one is starting today. There were at least 120 of them. We have been fighting for our lives. There are about 40 of them left. I can take on that many by myself. He was writing on the diary that, tomorrow we will be able to leave this place. Tushar was saying that, please do not let there be a 6th wave. I promise to clear it. Zaya said to him, but what is the point if it is not with you? There was voice that Tushar, it is time for you to die. There was a fiend girl. She said to Tushar, you dogged it. You sure are Indian number 1 rising star. She dragged the dagger in the arm of Tushar. Tushar was in pain. He looked at the eyes of her and said to her, those eyes, Ram, you were a fiend. How could you deceive us like that? How could you be a fiend? Zaya brought you here. She replied to Tushar, that is the stupidest thing I have ever heard. It is simple. Your lover was stupid, just like you. Still I do not know there would be this many luffs. I figured I would help. A bit before your friends died. They were useless and died so quickly. It was almost dangerous for me, too. Tushar said to her, you bastard. She said to him, thanks for clearing it with me. Now give the temps, and then you can join your teammates. Tushar was feeling sacred. She said to him, what is with your face? You are sacred of dying, is that it? Then Tushar started running away from her. She said to him, wow, I did not accept you to run away. Well, it does not matter. You will die from the poison. Anyway, Tushar was thinking that, there was a 6th wave. I am losing feeling in my arm. Not like this. No, I cannot die like this. He sat in the corner and said, I have lost all feeling in my right arm. It seems that the fiend coated his dagger with poison. Whatever it is, from the luffs or the poison, I will die either way. Then he wrote on the book that, if someone finds this book, tell our families, we are sorry. After reading the a few pages, protagonist said, is that it all? Oh, there are few more pages. He turned pages, and there was written on pages by Tushar, if the rest of my comrades were alive, would we have able to clear it? This was that fiend fault. Those damned fiends. O great Shiva, let this Tushar Vishy become one with the eternal soul, and let all those sinners be condemned to hell. Someone, anyone, I beg you to fulfill the vengeance of this dying warrior. Then protagonist said, thanks, I figured it out. The number of Luff's scales off the number of players. I came here alone so there were not as many, and could clear relatively easily. He was thinking that, if I came here with 3 others, just saying that makes me sick. I do not want to think about it. He take that notebook with him. Protagonist said, as for this, I will borrow. This tempts for a bit, it is not like I am taking it as payment or anything. But I will defiantly get your revenge on those damned fiends. After that, I will see you, Indian young hero, then protagonist. Returned home. Dokdu said to him, you were right. He held the newspaper in his hands and said, we did not say a thing, but one the whole world knows. I told you, protagonist said to him, that it would happen. I am feeling tired. He further said to him, I am telling you, I was itching to tell them at the entrance. That aside, why did you have to come here so early in the morning? You could have told me through Vita. Doc Gu said to him, it is polite to tell you these things in person. The Indian government has a message for you. They wanted to thank you for the diary. Their families have been informed. Protagonist replied to him, really? That is good. Doc Gu said to him, you rascal. You can be happy about it, you know. Protagonist replied, I am obviously happy. Doc Gu said to him, it is a shame though. I am leaving the newspaper here. Protagonist said to him, what is? Doc Gu said, you know about the Tempest. It was created as a weapon for national defense. But it was in Tushar inventory. Then protagonist popped up the Tempest and said to him, here, take a look. Doc Gu was very surprised by watching that. He said, are you crazy? Why is it in your hands? Protagonist said to him, oh, my ears. Doc Gu said to him, you should have kept it hidden. You know full well that it belongs to the Indian government. Protagonist said, I am just borrowing it. Doc Gu was very angry. By that, he said to protagonist, what will you say then? I am feeling headache. That Tushar transferred it to you from his inventory. Whatever, figure it out yourself. Protagonist replied to him, I am not gonna use it carelessly, so there is no need for you to be so sensitive about it. Doc Gu said loudly, no shit. They think it is gone. No, that not what I am saying. Protagonist replied to him, it is because of the fiend it will attract. Then Doc Gu said to protagonist, but Tushar died inside of the gate, did not he? Protagonist replied to him, he probably was not the one that was after the bow. That guy probably seen the articles by now. But he is not stupid enough to believe them. He is a crazy dude who values items more than lives. He will know that I have it, and will come after me. Doc Gu replied to him, you are right about that. There is one Hoi I can think of. He is Demon Bow Cal Singer. He is famous for his bow collection. Protagonist said, even the other fiends talk about him. He is pretty saucy, but thanks to that, he is wanted all over the world. Doc Gu replied to protagonist, he does not fit the level requirement, so he would not have gone into the Loof Garden himself. Protagonist said, that is right, and if he comes after me, he will work with other fiends to catch me at the next uncleared gate. He will be stronger than Tushar was alive. Doc Gu became excited and said to protagonist, what? Then it's too dangerous. You can still return it. Protagonist replied to him, calm down. If we start preparing right away, there would not be any problems besides. Do you think I will be easy prey? Doc Gu replied to him, of course not. You are. But I still wish you would keep yourself safe. Protagonist replied to him, who do you think I am? I am the one and only Seo Jun Ho, do not worry too much. It would not be the same as 25 years ago. Doc Gu replied to him, all right, you have not changed one bit. Protagonist replied to him, well, I am still me. Doc Gu moved, stretched his arm, there was some bright thing on his hand and he said, yes, this is Shim. Doc Gu. I see, I apologize, but I will have to decline. Yes, please send them back. Protagonist saw that bright thing and said to Doc Gu, what is it? Doc Gu replied to him, the properties are gathering like flies to manure. They all heard that you are the one that cleared the gates and want interviews. Protagonist said to him, do not send them away. Doc Gu replied to him, why not? Protagonist said, if we are gonna fight the fiends, we should at least get to choose the battlefield. Let's have a press conference. On the other hand, reporter were writing and saying that the first gate of the player Seo Jun Ho was Curse of Dawn. Next was the Louvre Garden. It has been a while since we have seen such a rookie. Korea could create another star player like Kim Woo-jong or Shin Sung-yeon, other than that he has a talent for attracting attention. Even among countless gemstones, he shines so brightly. He is coming. Take a picture. Reporter looked at protagonist said, what? Because he was wearing a very simple clothes and slippers in his feet. People looked at him and began to saying that, is that really the player who conquered 2 uncleared gates? Did he walk into the press conference by accident? Protagonist was also thinking that, what a sight. Should I have at least changed my clothes? I dressed up a lot when I was Spectre, though it's annoying now. He moved toward the speaker and introduced himself. He said, I am Seo Jun Ho. I will be holding a press conference for 30 minutes starting now. Reporters were in rush there. Everyone lifted his hand for question. There was bombardment of the questions from reporter on the protagonist. Someone asked to him, please tell us in detail about your experiences in the gates. How did you feel when you went in? Is there any particular reason why you debuted with the uncleared gates? Protagonist replied to them, let's start with the Curse of Dawn. Reporter began to thinking that, what is this? It feels like he has been in similar situations before. He is more experienced than he lets on. Protagonist said to reporters, I will take one question more. A reporter raised his hand and asked to him, have you decided on which gate you are going to next? Protagonist replied to him, nope, there is gate that is want to go to. But my level is too low. A reporter asked to him, where would that be? Protagonist replied to him, the Eastern Sea Gate. Reporter were very shocked by that answer of protagonist and pencil was slipped from the hand of reporter and he said, what? A reporter asked to protagonist, are you referring that East Sea Gate? That is the last uncleared gate in Korea. If you succeed, then you will have cleared 3 uncleared gates. This has never happened before. Protagonist replied to him, yes, that is right. Then reporters asked to him, it is believed that there is a boss monster there. Do you have anything to say about that? The association has also been discussing whether or not to declare it a rank 1 gate. Do not you think it may be too much? Protagonist began to thinking that, well, it makes sense that they are reacting negatively. That is how strong a boss monster is. Boss monsters are on a different level from normal monsters. They are immensely powerful. Some of them even take the monsters in as servants and act their king. Then protagonist replied to them, but, if I fight a boss monster, I will win. Then it became headline on the television channels that protagonist said, I would win either way from the boss monsters. People read the news and began saying to each other, they are making such a big fuss over Q Rookie. It just shows how significant the uncleared gates are. It has been a while since I have heard something this interesting from the first floor. Then a guy replied to other one, if you are interested, would you like me to contact him? Then guy replied to other guy, nope, I am interested. Yet, far from that, in fact, if something extraordinary happens, people call it fate. If it happens twice, they call it skill. But think they should wait until the 3rd instance before judging. There is no need to remember all the names that will fade before then. Guy replied to him, I understand. If player Seo Jun Ho brings another miracle, he will receive a personal invitation from Shin Sung-yeon. On the other hand, protagonist was reading about the leader of the top guild in Korea. He said, this one too. I will pass. Doc Ji-yu said to him, how about this? Protagonist replied to him, it is not bad, but it is not that good either. Pass. By the way, are these all commission requests? Doc Ji-yu replied to him, it is. Because of the press conference. You are totally hot right now. Good express drops. Appropriate difficulty. And a good payout. It is hard to find a request will all 3 of those. Protagonist said to him, to be honest, I think we can give up on the last one. Doc Ji-yu replied to him, no, your first commission will set a precedent. He took a paper, gave to protagonist and said to him, how about this one? It is from the father who is looking for the cure of his daughter terminal disease, and Doc Ji-yu further said, the key of cure is the core of Cinder Fox. Protagonist said, a Cinder Fox, that is a name I have not heard in a while. Doc Gu replied to him, you encountered one when you were just starting out as a player. Right, protagonist replied to him, at that time I almost died. Doc Gu said to protagonist, it is easier to just show you. It is the national level. Heavenly Fox Gate. Protagonist said, what? Doc Gu clicked on his watch and there was clear information about Heavenly Fox Gate. There was written that, to clear this gate, required level is 5 with party cap of 30 people, and surprisingly there was also written that it was cleared. Doc equals Gu said to protagonist, this gate appeared only 3 months ago. So it has not been declared an uncleared gate. But it is a monster that is already eaten up by 7 times, protagonist replied to him, the required level are more particular than the Cinder Fox Gate I cleared as Spectre. It will be harder than before. Doc Gu replied to him, it would not be as hard as you think, though. The standard Fox players has gone up since before and item specs have gotten better too, protagonist replied to him, I have not seen any proper player since I have come back. But I have believe you. He picked up a paper and said all right, if I want to see my Hubei skills. Let's go with this. Doc Gu said to protagonist, yes, it's actually my friend's commission. Protagonists asked to him, friend? Who? Doc Gu replied to him, you know the Myungho Group. He is the CEO. Protagonist asked to him, then is he Choi Man-hyuk son? Doc Gu replied to him, he actually has a second son named Choi Pil-ho. Then a girl entered in the room of Doc Gu. Her name is Cha Si-eun and said to him, President, you wanted to see me. Doc Gu replied to him, welcome. Doc Gu said to her, from today you will be Seo Jun-ho, secretary and manager. Protagonist began to thinking that, no matter how famous of a rookie I am, I suppose it would be suspicious if the president kept going everything for me. Cha Si-eun introduced himself to protagonist and said to him, please take care of me. Protagonist said to her, yes, me too. Doc Gu said to protagonist, I will talk to the president of Myungho Group, so please work closely with Cha Si-eun. She is extremely capable and you will find yourself relying on her in the future. Cha Si-eun said to Doc Gu, thank you for your kind words. Doc Gu said to both of them, then, you two should get going. I accept great results. Understood. Cha Si-eun said to protagonist, do you know much about the Myungho Group? Protagonist replied to her, yes, they are number 1 in Korea. Cha Si-eun said to him, they are famous for having clean tax records and protecting the private lives of the royal family. Their life was perfect, but tragedy struck. Choi Pil-ho's eldest daughter has 9 yin severance syndrome. It is an innate disease that appears in some people with high yin energy. The only way to treat it is to transplant something with high yang energy into the body to prolong their lifespan. One of the ways to treat 9 yin syndrome is to use the Cinder Fox core. 29 years ago, Spectre Nim, who was greatest player at the time, hunted the Cinder Fox, verified its effectiveness. Spectre Nim is a person I greatly admire. Protagonist began coughing. Cha Si-eun asked to him, why do you look so shy? Protagonist replied to her, no, I am so touched after hearing your story. Both they came off the car. And protagonist looked at the house and said, it looks exactly the same. Cha Si-eun said to protagonist, have you came here before? Protagonist replied to her, well, it was a long time ago. Cha Si-eun said to protagonist, please wait here. I will go in first and make sure. They entered in the house and Choi Pil-ho was standing there. He said to protagonist, you are player Jun-ho, right? It's a pleasure to meet you. I have been waiting. I am Choi Pil-ho. Cha Si-eun began to thinking that he came in person. Protagonist replied to Choi Pil-ho, I am indeed Seo Jun-ho. I am honored that you came to greet me in person. He greeted with Choi Pil-ho. Choi Pil-ho said to protagonist, you are the hero who is cleared the uncleared gates for the citizens' safety. I am the one that honored. It is my only wish. Please save my dear he son from the wretched disease. Protagonist replied to him, all right, let's get to it. You need the Cinder Fox core. Choi Pil-ho said, yes, after looking through every possible place of information. I found a case in France of someone making a full recovery. And they said that it was because of the Cinder Fox core. I will get straight to the point. I am offering 15 billion won as your commission fee. I will also provide you with any items or materials you need for the gate. And anything else you may require, as long as I can acquire them. Cha Si-eun began to thinking that the commission fee is a premium. He will, defiantly. Protagonist replied to him, I am sorry, but I will have to decline. Cha Si-eun came in anger and said loudly, Jun-ho. Choi Pil-ho said to protagonist, 25 billion, no, I will give you 30 billion. Is that still not enough? Protagonist replied to him, I am not telling you to raise your offer. 10 billion is more than enough. Choi Pil-ho replied to protagonist, may I ask the reason behind increasing the amount? He began telling that, when Spectre Nim took the offer from the French commissioner, he received 100 million. The commissioner was willing to give up all his assets to save his daughter. But he turned it all down and only asked for 100 million. My reason is the same as his. Protagonist replied to him, you should not take advantage of someone who wants to save their family. They came out from the house and Cha Si-eun sat in the car. And she said to protagonist, I will park the car. You should go on ahead. Protagonist replied to her, understood. She asked to protagonist, did you hear that story about Spectre Nim? Protagonist asked to her, from the association president. Ah, well, President Shim Dok-ji-yu was Spectre Nim close friend. Protagonist asked to Cha Si-eun, did you believe this story? Spectre Nim has a reputation for being cold and mechanical. No, rather, Cha Si-eun replied to protagonist, someone as warm-hearted as him would defiantly have done that. Protagonist further asked to her, is he a warm-hearted person? Spectre Nim. Cha Si-eun replied to him, that is what I think. And I am even more sure after hearing what you said. She further said, Spectre Nim watched his parents died before his eyes. The commissioner had the money to offer 10 billion won. If that was not the case, I do not think he would have even suggested a price. Then protagonist said, someone who could not save their own family would not want others to experience the same pain. Well, no one knows except him. Then protagonist came toward Dok-ji-yu. Dok-ji-yu asked to protagonist, how was Ms. Cha Si-eun? Protagonist replied to him, we were only together for 2 hours. Well, she is good at giving briefings. Dok-ji-yu said to him, you will soon come to appreciate her true worth. She could work at the famous guild or a major company just with her specs. She only decided we'll work here because the association is taking care of Spectre. Protagonist asked to Dok-ji-yu, where are we? Dok-ji-yu replied to him, you rascal, do not change the subject just because you are embarrassed. He put his hand on the screen and said to protagonist, if you want to take down a monster on the level of Cinder Fox, you should take something useful with you. In the last 25 years, our technology has improved tremendously. We have made weapons out of materials that you cannot imagine and changed the traditions of the players. There were swords in the box. Protagonist lifted a sword, then Dok-du said to him, try using on the sword. Protagonist was very surprised and said, magic on the sword. Then he tried the magic on the sword. Dok-ji-yu said to protagonist, if you use even a bit of magic, an artificial key sword will appear. It can easily price an orc hide. There was flash from the sword. Dok-ji-yu pointed toward the other sword and said, and that one creates a shield when you infuse it with magic. Oh, that's once a magic bomb. Protagonist said to him, then player these days only use these kinds of weapons. Dok-ji-yu replied to him, that is, high-tech weapons are extremely efficient, so I do not see why they would not, even those ranked guys. Protagonist replied to him, I am not sure rankers usually use custom-made weapons. These are not different than toys in the front of true predators. These will be useless against monsters who can tear apart a player magic. Then protagonist further asked to Dok-ji-yu, why do you think weaker monsters come out at lower levels? Dok-ji-yu replied to him, that is because you will die if you face strong monsters. Protagonist said, exactly, it's ironic. The system is really fair about things like that. Protagonist further said, players have to grow by facing opponents with similar stats, so that they can defeat stronger enemies later with the strength and experience they have earned. Dok-ji-yu asked to him, you do not think these weapons are effective against strong monsters? Protagonist replied to him, yeah, Doc Ji said, you are right. Players who only use high-tech weapons never achieve anything. Great. These weapons are just cost-efficient for clearing gates of similar levels, Protagonist said, oh, is that so? He took a sword and asked to Doc Ji, what is this? Doc Ji replied to him, that sword is also made with new materials, but it was not particularly useful so I just put it away, Protagonist replied. Really? He looked at the set of rifles and said, the world really has become fun, what with players' growth being hindered by those toys. Then Protagonist moved toward Cha Si-eun and they some reporters and said, there seems to be a lot of reporters and fair amount of players. Cha Si-eun said, everyone is excited about the Cinder Fox Corps, including Junho Ni Nim. A party of 27 will enter the gate. Some of those participants were sent by guilds. Protagonist was enjoying the tea and said, this is good. Cha Si-eun said, it is lavender tea. Do you like it? Protagonist replied to her, I would like another cup when I return. And he further said to her, oh, and you will have to get up earlier than usual tomorrow. Cha Si-eun asked to him, I get up earlier, why? Protagonist replied to her, after today conquest, I am gonna get a whole ton of commission requests. They came off the car and reporter rushed toward Protagonist and asked to him, is it true that you were sent on a personal commission from the Myungho group? This is your first time fighting with other players, how do you feel about that? The Cinder Fox is known to be a fastidious boss, are you sure you can defeat it? There were also some other players standing there. While watching the reporter rushing toward Protagonist, a reporter said to other, you would think that he is a ranker. Normal players like us are always pushed aside. Then other player replied to him, he is the hottest rookie right now, so they are probably going to raise him up in the articles. Then the player again asked to other player, did that skinny guy really conquer 2 uncleared gates? Player replied to him, I do not believe it. Even his gear looks shabby, he must have more stuff in his inventory. Do you really think he would enter the gate with that weapon? Protagonist said to reporters, I am ending the interviews here. A player was standing there pointed toward other players and said to them, get ready. They said, it's time to go. At 11:28 a.m., Burning Dunes, gate entrance. They enter there and that was desert area. One of them, damn, it is desert area. Another player asked, will we be able to fight in this sand? It's crazy hot. Other player whose name was Minwoo said to him, please lend me your ears. Other player looked toward him and asked to each other, who is he? Cha Minwoo said to them, let me introduce myself. I am Cha Minwoo, a member of Korea Rank 13 Guild. They were very shocked by hearing about guild and began to thinking that the guild that is participating today in Chunghae, the one that only elites go to. Cha Minwoo said to them, now, as you all know, there is not much you can do alone in gate like this. With our party being as big as it is, we would not want any infighting and put ourselves in unnecessary danger, right? That is why I wanted to offer a proposal. Other players became very shocked and said, a proposal? Cha Minwoo said to them, I'm Million Won. Our guild is offering 10 million won to everyone that will follow our directions during the conquest. However, we would like to calm the clear reward, the Cinder Fox Corps. They became very shocked and said, what? And asked to him, so what you really want is the core? It would not even cost you 300 million won to play all of us off. How do you plan to retrieve the Cinder Fox Corps without the help of Chunghae? They start whispering and saying to each other, our guild trying to be generous to you all. If anyone changes their mind, we will only offer million won. They said to Cha Min-woo, I accept. Another player said, I too, and asked to Cha Min-woo, if we join, will you give us drinking water? Protagonist was also there in the desert. Cha Min-woo said to him, you would not join us. Protagonist replied to him, I am planning to go alone. Then a player said to Cha Min-woo, as I thought, the rumors were exaggerating. They said he was a genius, but if he decide to fight alone in a place like this, there is no need to be concerned with him, team leader. Cha Min-woo asked to him, when did I ever say I was concerned? On the other hand, Protagonist said, all right, let's get ready. He moved forward. Cha Min-woo said to him, that guy's something between a monster and a mythical Creature. A boss monster that grows 9 tails over 1,000 years. Once it grows all its tails, it will ascend to the heavens and become the Millennium Fox, and watch over its kind. Every time the number of tails increases, the number of Fire Fox Solitaire it can command also increases. Protagonist replied to him, I do not know how many tails the Cinder Fox in this gate has for now, I have to scout out a good spot. Then suddenly Cinder Foxes popped out from the sand. Cha Min-woo said, They are coming. They are coming. Fire Foxes, do not panic and follow our lead. A player said to Vice Leader, Tell me how many there are. Vice Leader replied to him, approximately 30. Then they apply magic on them. They began to say, Did this magic work? Cha Min-woo said to them, Watch carefully, you monsters. This is different from the age of weak weapons and sloppy traps. This is the power of technology from the second floor. Then a player said, We have already dealt with more than half of them, Team Leader Cha Min-woo. If we keep going like this, we will be able to catch the Cinder Fox in no time. Cha Min-woo replied to him, If you have time to talk, then keep attacking. Then a lady player said to other player, I was nervous after hearing about the Cinder Fox, but this is nothing. Player replied to her, It is because we joined with the Chung Hae Guild. Then there was suddenly darkness on the sky. A player was very surprised and said, Why is it so dark? Because Cinder Fox was arrived now. They all were very surprised. And there was message that the boss for Burning Dunes, Cinder Fox, has appeared. Players began to counting tails of Cinder Fox. They said 1, 2, 3, 7, 8 and 9. It has 9 tails. No way it has 9 tails. The one that Spectre barely defeated was a 6 tails. Cha Min-woo said to other players, Get it together, stay in formation and focus on the attack. A player said to other player, The Chung Hae Guild with us. We have a chance. Cha Min-woo moved forward and said, No matter the monster, stabbing its heart and head will kill it. The trap I have prepared is several times stronger than anything else we have done. He further said, If you are caught, you would not be able to escape. Cha Min-woo determined that, I will kill the Cinder Fox today and surpass Spectre. All of his partners were killed and Cha Min-woo was alive. Alone. He said, None of our weapons, traps or strategies worked. He saw the monster and said, How dare we supposed to hunt this monster? It is impossible. Ah, so this is how I die. Cha Min-woo came near to Protagonist. Protagonist said to him, What are you doing? Get out of the way. I will be fine. Cha Min-woo was very surprised and said, What? Then there was fire from the mouth of Fox. Protagonist tackled the attack of Fox and said, This is the end. They were doomed from the start. Cha Min-woo started surviving his players. Protagonist said to him, But is it satisfied with just this? And he further said to Cha Min-woo, Take the survivors and go. Cha Min-woo said to Protagonist, What about you? Protagonist said, Me, obviously, take care of this guy, and said to Cha Min-woo, Go. Player said to Min-woo, Team Leader come on. Protagonist said, Now that the stragglers are gone, shall we have some fun? There was fight between Fox and Protagonist. And he began to thinking that, as I thought, it would not let me get close. Then there was a giant flame blast. Protagonist saw and said, I would not be able to survive the hit. The Cinder Fox moved forward to attack at Protagonist. He said, The Cinder Fox strength increases with its number of tails. Then what if the number increases? Obviously its strength will also decrease. There were 2 guys outside the gate in which Protagonist and other players were fighting with the Cinder Fox to clear the gate. A guy said to other guy, It has already been 10 hours since the players have gone in. The party before this one survived for 2 days. Other guy slapped on the face of the guy and said to him, You bastard, do not be respectful. The only thing we can do is to pray for their safe return. On the other hand, Protagonist was fighting with Cinder Fox. He attacked on the Fox with his sword and Fox was in pain. Protagonist said to Fox, This is your first time being in pain, is not it? He further said to Fox, You do not have any natural enemies or rivals. You just hunted countless players. You never imagined that you would become the prey, did you? Then Fox came in anger and attacked on the Protagonist. Protagonist tackled the attack of the Fox and said to him, Where are you? Looking. How dramatic. Why are you still struggling when you know you are gonna die? You know. It is. Too late. Finally the Cinder Fox was died. And there was message that, you have defeated the Cinder Fox. You have received Cinder Fox core as a reward. Then reporters were also there outside the gate. They saw that players were moving out from the gate. They rushed toward players and said, oh, they are coming out. No way. Did they really clear it? It only took them 13 hours. They cleared it faster than it took the last team to fail. While on other side a reporter was reporting that, the players are coming out of the gate, which has now turned green. In the middle of it all, the first player to come out is Cha Min-woo of the Chung Hae Guild. Reporter said to the player, we would like to request an interview, bring the injured over here. Then they put the injured player on the stretcher and said we are done with the first aid, will you go straight to the hospital? Then Cha Min-woo replied, no, that is, I feel like I will have to at least give a general explanation. Then a reporter moved forward and said to Min-woo, is it true that you led the players and cleared the dungeon? Please tell us how you feel. Did the Cinder Fox really have 9 tails? How difficult was it? Your name is the top searched keyword right now. You always say you want to be a hero. How do you feel about this conquest? Then Cha Min-woo replied to all of them that, so this is how it feels. Then he started telling about the whole story beyond his motivation, that how he decided to become the hero. This praise, even it is misdirected, it becomes addicting once you experience it a few times. Then a teacher stood at the stage and said, today, we will be presenting our hopes and dreams. Then she asked, to me, Min-woo, why do not you go first? Then I replied to my teacher that, when I get older, I want to become a great hero like Spectre Nim. Then Cha Min-woo stood from the rest bed and said to reporters that, I should not be the one standing in this spot. From now on, I will tell you what really happened inside the gate. While on other hand in another hospital protagonist was lying on the bed. Then Cha Si-eun came near to him and said to him, are you awake? It is 6 a.m., this is Hanguk Hospital. Then she asked to protagonist, how do you feel? Then protagonist replied to her, I feel fine. Then Cha Si-eun said to protagonist, while you were out, I was reviewing the commission requests you received. You were right about getting up early. Then protagonist stood up and began walking toward outside the room. Cha Si-eun asked to him, where are you going? Protagonist replied to Cha Si-eun that, I am going to see President Choi Pil-ho, he must be beside himself. Then Cha Si-eun said to protagonist, you have not recovered yet. Then protagonist replied, I just used up all my energy and fainted. I will take a break after I go meet with the real patient. So let's go. Then they both moved toward the Choi Pil-ho house to see his ill daughter. Choi Pil-ho was very happy that protagonist came at his house. He said to protagonist, I am grateful that you came, but is it really all right? I heard that you fainted inside the gate. Protagonist replied to him, yes, it's right. I was just a bit tired, so I was like a nap. Then Choi Pil pointed toward a door and said, this is my daughter room. Then protagonist opened the door and saw that daughter of Choi Pil was in very delicate state. He said, she is in a worse state than I expected. I should hurry. Then he came near the core and the heat came out from there. Then protagonist said, oh, no, I forgot. It is dangerous for regular people to be near the core because of its heat. Can you wait outside? Then Choi Pil-ho said to protagonist, I should have asked this earlier, but is it really okay to use such a dangerous object on my daughter? I am worried. Then protagonist replied to him, of course, not everyone can handle it, but I know the method that Spectre Nim used, so you do not need to be worried. Then Choi Pil-ho said to protagonist, so President Doc Ji-yu informed you, I heard he was close to Spectre. Protagonist greeted to him and said, yes, that is right. Choi Pil requested to protagonist that, please take care of my daughter. Protagonist said, it would not take long to recover. He came near to the patient and said, she is worse than the patient I cured in the past. For now, I will use the heat of the core to carefully melt the ice spell. Then there was message from the system that, you sense intermediate yin energy from the target. You can absorb it with the frost skill. Upon absorption, your magic stat will increase. Protagonist was surprised by watching that message. He said, what? Frost skill X is the skill with no weakness. An all-powerful skill for both attack and defense. Then he said to the system, you are saying it can even raise my magic stat by absorbing the yin energy. Not even, Watchguard of Darkness. Could. Then system again said, upon absorption stat will increase. Protagonist said, no, this is the first time that the frost skill has been able to do this. What if Watchguard of Darkness found a smaller spell with the darkness attribute? It will definitely be worth checking out. But I can figure that out later. For now, I should focus on treating the 9 yin severance syndrome. If I do not hurry, it will be harder on the patient. I need to get rid of all the yin energy inside of her. Let's do it in one finish. When I was Spectre, I used the yang energy from the core to forcibly break the spell. Back then, it put a heavy burden on the patient body, but there was nothing else I could do. This time, it's the opposite. I am not expelling the yin energy, I am actually absorbing some of it. To balance it out, this is much safer than using the core. Choi Pil-ho and Cha Sin-eu were waiting outside the room. Then after a long time Protagonist came out. From the room, Choi Pil-ho asked to Protagonist, how is she now? Protagonist replied to him, it was a success. She has made a full recovery, and there should not be any side effects. Choi Pil became very happy and kneeled down in the front of Protagonist. Then Cha Sin-eu and Protagonist sat in the car. Protagonist said to Cha Sin-eu, your vacation starts as soon as we return to the association, you should also refrain from any strenuous physical activity for the time being. Cha said, yes, yes. Protagonist said, to her, I think, I was able to wrap up this commission nicely thanks to you, Secretary Cha. Thank you. Then after some days Choi Pil-ho meet with Protagonist and said to him, I thought a lot about how I should repay you. First I considered raising the compensation even more, but I do not think you would want something like that. Protagonist said to Choi Pil-ho, I just did what I had to. Just your words are enough. Choi Pil-ho said to Protagonist, so this is what I decided. If at any time you might need help, we, the Myungho Group, will assist you in any way possible. Korea #1 company, Myungho Group. It is safe to say that there is no place in Korea that the Myungho Group influence does not reach. However, their real weapon is the fact that Choi Pil-ho eldest son is the guild master of the Scarlet Tower. They rank 5th in the country. Then Protagonist said, if I can have them as reinforcements when I need them, it will be a huge advantage. I will make sure to use it carefully so that I will not harm Myungho reputation. Choi Pil-ho said to Protagonist, just say the world. Because Protagonist is my family savior. While on other hand in the office Doc Ji-yu was saying that I just off a call with President Choi Pil-ho. He is all giddy, because his daughter feeling better. Doc Ji-yu said to Protagonist, how your own body? Protagonist replied to him, all I have is some light muscle pain. Doc Ji-yu came in anger and said to Protagonist, damn, are you secretly taking some sort of wonder drugs? Then Protagonist said to him, no way. I leveled up a lot, and got a bunch of recovery skills. That is why. Then let's get to the point. Then there, ejection of lot of heat from the Cinder Fox core. Doc Ji-yu asked to Protagonist, is that the Cinder Fox core? Protagonist said, yeah, I did not have to use it on the president daughter. I absorbed some of the yin energy with the frost skill. Doc Ji-yu was very surprised by listening that and said, is that possible? Protagonist replied to him, the system told me so. On top of that, it increased my magic stat. I found something good. The frost skill can absorb the yin energy of any target. Doc Ji-yu asked to Protagonist, if it can do that, then. Protagonist replied to him, not only disease like the 9 yin severance syndrome. I might be able to absorb energy from items as well. Doc Ji-yu said, I was wondering what you were trying to say, so you are just telling me to find a suitable item. Then Protagonist said to him, that is our Doc Ji-yu, good boy. One thing that might be a problem, is that the 9 yen severance syndrome's energy was labeled as intermediate. Then there was message from the system that, you sense intermediate yin energy from the target. Then Doc Ji-yu said, an incredible disease is only intermediate. Does that mean that absorbing normal items would not have any effect? Then Protagonist said, probably. Doc Ji-yu said, I get the gist of it. I will look for suitable items, so you look into the market. Protagonist said, the player market, it has been a while. Do not go around causing trouble. What makes you think I would do that? Then protagonist reached in the player market. This is an offline market with multiple locations worldwide. You can buy information and tons of different items from gates. Because of this, it has a popular attraction even among non-players. Protagonist was walking in the market and was thinking that how long has it been since I have come to the Insadong location. It has become a lot livelier. It used to be desolate back then, with everyone being so focused on surviving. I am glad, but rather than here, I have some business with the black market. Then protagonist entered in a theater. There was a scene on television and it was written that everything freezing. A guy was enjoying the popcorn and was saying that it would not melt anymore. Then protagonist sat in the chair and said, the movie theater in the player market has a special seat that acts as a teleport zone for the player market. The teleport skill is so shitty. Anything is possible with the resources from the gates, but how can teleport still cause motion sickness? Then a girl said to protagonist, hey Spectre, I will use my magic instead. Then protagonist by using the magic disappeared from the theater and said, I hope I can see you guys again soon. Then protagonist went into the Ethiopia under in black market. Protagonist said, it has a very different atmosphere from the normal market. It is impossible to come here unless you are one of the select few. All the players market of the world are just ports that lead to here. Then there were two ladies there in the market. On of them said to protagonist, you bastard, what are you looking at? Protagonist said, I am sorry. A lady said to other one, did you hear? Apparently, Kim Woo-jong from the Nine Heavens has not been seen lately. So how long is the association gonna hide Spectre? Protagonist was thinking that, in the black market, there are no tour guides or everyday shoppers. It is an underground world where common sense does not apply. Then a guy was standing there in the black market, looked at protagonist and said, look, is not that Seo Jun-ho? The one who cleared the uncleared gate. Protagonist was also listening that conversation and said, of course it is. Not completely safe either, but there is not much a chance that I will meet a player who will be a threat to me, since most of the stronger ones went up. The players that are left here were either too weak to go to the second floor or went but could not handle it. If they are only at that level, I can handle them. Then protagonist decided to move forward without any fear. Then protagonist passed from the guys and said, and they did not mess with him. Then he said, well, that was easy. Then protagonist entered in the room and saw that there was an old man sitting on the chair and too he was smoking. He looked at protagonist and said, welcome. He was surprised and said, oh, what is this? I did not think a celebrity would come by. Then protagonist said to him, I have come to look at artifacts. Then old man pointed toward a shelf and said to protagonist, that shelf is all artifacts. Take a look. Then protagonist looked at the shelf and began thinking that, I did not accept much, but I hit the jackpot. Then there was message from the system that, you sense low-level cold energy from the target. You sense low-level yen energy from the target. You sense low intermediate level frost from the target. Then protagonist said, even if it is low, I will be able to raise my magic with this many items, and now that I think about it. Then protagonist said to the old man that, I heard from some novices that some of the best items that were advertised were actually kept in the different room. Then old man came in anger and said, that is not true. Who would say? Then protagonist said, nah, I already knew you are bad at lying. Then protagonist held a gold spoon and said, just let me take a peek and I will buy some items up here too and I will keep your secret. Then old man said to protagonist, damn it, which bastard is going around saying that? Then he said to protagonist, come in the room. He showed their best artifacts to protagonist. He said, these are our best artifacts. Then protagonist looked at artifacts and said, they all look pretty good, but I do not see any with a darkness attribute. Then he looked at artifacts and said, wow, ice attribute. Old man said to him, do not touch it. It has a powerful curse on it which causes the user body to freeze. Then there was a message from the system that, glove that holds the frost fairy wrath. Grade is rare. Requirements are level 10, speed 40 and magic 50. You sense intermediate level frost from the target. You can purify the item. Then protagonist said, if it is intermediate, it's on the same level as the 9 yin severance syndrome. I can get the same amount of magic as last time. I will buy this in the artifacts. From before. Thank you. Then protagonist went to a shop and said to shopkeeper, please teleport me to the Insadong market in Korea and give me anything to drink. Shopkeeper replied to him, understood. The wait time for teleportation is 10 minutes. Then protagonist started drinking. There were some other players also standing there. One of them said, look who it is. Then he came near to protagonist and said to him, are not you famous player Seo Jin-ho? I have heard a lot about you our little Hubei. As a sunbae, I feel so proud. Protagonist was thinking that, as expected, the black market is not a place where you should linger. Player said to protagonist, it determines your commission requests and your guild entry. But it is hard to constantly achieve something in gates, so raising your reputation is extremely difficult. So this is what some cowardly players try to do. Then a player said to protagonist, your sunbae is talking to you. This fucker is being disrespectful. We should teach him proper manners. Then a player moved forward and said to protagonist, hey, it is thanks to us keeping the streets safe that you can go around. Leveling got up. This body shines with the 5 years of experience. Then they came in anger and said, what is with this crazy bastard? Protagonist began laughing and said to them, what? Keeping the streets safe. That is what the top players do, not leeches like you. All you do is lynch weaker looking rookies and put your name as tabloid newspapers, is it not? Then those players came in anger and said to protagonist, you bastard. Protagonist said to them, do not hesitate now. Come at me. I will also feel better after beating up thugs like you. Then other people started gathering around protagonist. One of them said, is not that rumored Seo Jin-ho? It is. If he fails here, the newspaper will go crazy. There was also an old man standing there in the crowd. He said, they are ganging up on a player who is barely debuted. How pathetic. A player moved forward and said to protagonist, talk all you want. All that matters is the outcome of the battle. Seo Jin-ho, the player who defeated the Cinder Fox, will fall at our hands, the Gangnam Trio. Then protagonist said to shopkeeper, how long until I can teleport? She replied to protagonist, around 4 minutes. Protagonist said to a player that 4 minutes is more than enough time to play around. Then a player with a sharp dagger moved forward and said to protagonist, I am the life serving lance of the Gangnam Trio. You should feel honored to fight me. Player said to protagonist, hey, what is with that dagger you are holding? I thought you were a sword user. Protagonist replied to him, I do need something like a sword to squash a few bugs. Then player came in anger and made a move to attack on protagonist and said to him, you are bastard. Then protagonist fought with him. And player fall down after a few minutes. And there was starting bleeding from the mouth of the player. The companions of the player said, that idiot. He fell for such an obvious feint. Then other player moved forward, used his power and said to protagonist, can you block this? Then there was fight between second player of the gang and protagonist. The third player of the gang was saying that protagonist is just a newbie who caught a few monsters. I bet he has never actually killed a person. Those without experience will let their guard down when they are confident they can win, but that one instant will spell defeat. Then he begun laughing and said to protagonist, do you get it now? This is the difference between you and us. We were never planning to stop halfway. You cocky. While on the other side, protagonist was completely dominating on the player and put his foot on the mouth of the player. Player began coughing and was almost faint. Then third and last player of the gang moved forward and said, what just happened? He is just a rookie, but he wiped us, the Gangnam Trio, out. No, that is not possible. It is not over yet. Then third player made his move to attack on protagonist. Protagonist said to him, during Spectre generation the reason why I could wipe out so many fiends was because of an ability I had that I could read their breath. Your breathing is so obvious. Then third player also fall down and was about to die. Protagonist said to him, I would not see you around, right? Then those players who fall down replied to protagonist that, of course, we would not even look at your shadow for as long as we live. People who were gathered there began saying that protagonist won. The newbie won against 3 players in their 5th year. That is amazing. Contact the reporters. Then they began cheering that Seo Jin-ho, Seo Jin-ho. Protagonist was thinking that the world has become strange. They are acting like players in the game. Those who kill for their own selfish desires, those who cheer for the winner rather than taking care of the injured. While on other hand shopkeeper said to protagonist, the teleportation is ready. Protagonist was thinking that, there are only 3 ways to survive in world like this. Go crazy with the people. Suppress your emotions or always be in distress. I miss my friends. While on other hand, there were a few guys in the car. A guy said to other guy, this is a video that was taken from the black market a few 20 minutes ago. He was able to defeat 3 players that were over 20 with his overwhelming skill. He far exceeds my personal expectations. Princess was also sitting in car. Car driver asked to her, but what are your thoughts, princess? She asked to driver, what did you say his name was? While on other hand in the black market people began taking selfie with protagonist. Protagonist was not happy with that act. He was thinking that why am I doing this with a girl? Cannot even shake them off. People said to girl who was taking selfie, excuse me, how long are you going to take? People are waiting. Protagonist said to them, please wait. He was thinking that, if it keeps going like this, I would not be able to go home until night time. Then the car driver and princess arrived there in the black market. Princess asked to protagonist, can we talk for a moment? Protagonist looked at the hairs of the princess and began thinking that, this is bright orange hair, and a strong heat energy that I can feel just by being near. There is only one person who fits this description. One of the members of the Big 6 guilds. The name of that member is Dokkaebi Princess, Gong Yuha. Then princess said to protagonist, oh, right here is my card. I am not some weird person. Protagonist looked at the card and thought that, I knew it to be approached by Dokkaebi. Is she scouting me? It feels good. Then princess asked to protagonist, if it is all right with you, can we go to a nearby cafe to talk? Protagonist replied to her, sounds good, let's go. Protagonist was thinking that, I need to get out of here. Princess and protagonist entered in the Eden Cafe. She said to protagonist, I am sweaty. I hate going out. I hate feeling hot, but I have to wear mask and sunglasses. Protagonist asked to princess, do not you have fire abilities? She replied to him, that is the problem. I like cold things. Then waiter served ice choco to princess. While on other hand, protagonist was thinking that, rumors say that even the fiends are afraid of her. Is this normal looking girl really the princess of Dokkaebi? Then protagonist asked to princess, so, what does the Dokkaebi guild want with me? She asked to protagonist, do you want to join us? Protagonist said to her, you said that so casually. Princess said that, the vice master ordered me to scout you like this. It takes too long to go through the process. I was planning to make the final decision after meeting you and you pass. Protagonist was very surprised by hearing this and asked to her, in what sense I have been passed? Princess replied to him, first your achievements they are more than enough for us to come meet you personally. The so-called super rookie. Protagonist also began thinking that, this is true, there is no one at my level that is close to what I have. Princess further said to protagonist, you also score high in terms of combat sense and future potential. Protagonist asked to her, so you have already heard about what happened at the market? Princess replied to him, I enjoyed it. You are good at fighting. And there was one last thing I wanted to confirm, is your main skill really only D rank weapon proficiency? Protagonist replied to her, yes, that is right. He was thinking that, on my fake profile, D rank is written. Princess said to protagonist, if that is the case, I want you even more. Think about it, you only have one D rank skill. Yet you are already at this level in career. What would happen if you added more skills to your roster? If you join our guilds, you will have access to tons of great skill books. Not only that, our coordinators will write up a training course for you. Then protagonist opened the book, read that book and said that is amazing. He was thinking that, not only do they have great benefits and resources, their incentives and salarier than the associations. That is why all the strong players left them. There is a reason why the guilds are doing so well. Princess said to protagonist, on top of that, we are one of the strongest guilds in the world. We also have more information on the second floor than the association. Do not you think it would be better to come to us than to stay with the association? Then princess was thinking that, well, there is no way he would refuse. We are Dokkaebi, And I came here to meet him as a team leader. She said to protagonist, yeah, you can speak casually. After a long time to taken by protagonist to think about joining that guild, he replied to princess, I respectfully denied. Then princess came in, anger by hearing that thing from the mouth of the protagonist, and asked to him, what? Why, you do want to join our guild? Protagonist replied to her, if I join Dokkaebi, I will be able to accumulate honor and riches. But nothing in the world is free. Their orders will be absolute, and I will have to carry out all their missions. It could be good for me right now. But one day, I will be chained down. She asked to protagonist, did you not understand what I said? Protagonist replied to her, I know that the Dokkaebi guild has given me a great offer, and have you heard of saying, the snake head is better than the dragon tail? Then she said, yes, I understand. She began thinking that, the snake's head is better than the dragon tail. He is smarter than I thought. Even if he came to Dokkaebi right now, it would take some time to climb the ranks. After all, a place where only the elite of elites gather will have a fierce competition. She, again, asked to protagonist, are you really not joining us? Protagonist said, I am sorry. Then princess stood up and said, well, there is nothing I can do. It is not like I can force you to join. And just some personal advice. You should be careful in the future. Protagonist asked to her, are you taking revenge? Princess replied to him, no, we are not that petty. Then she said to protagonist, fiends are a lot more active lately on the first floor as well. Protagonist said to her, are you saying that they are planning something? Then princess replied to him, most likely. The association probably does not know yet, which is why I am telling you. If you run into them without knowing and get attacked, I will be disappointed. Protagonist said to her, thank you. Princess said, I will see you again sometime. Mr. Snake Head. The fiends have started moving again. Then protagonist moved toward the office of Doc Gu and told him the whole story and said to him, Dokkaebi has no reason to lie to me like that. It is probably true. Doc Gu replied to him, I knew that their information was greater than ours, but not to this extent. By the way, would not you regret declining their offers? Gong Jhua went out of her way to meet you too. Protagonist replied to him, not really. Sure, I can get honor and money if I join them. But I do not really have interest in those things. Why the long face? Do you want me to go? Doc Gu said to him, it is not that. I just thought that they would be more helpful to you. Protagonist replied to him, the guilds are strict. You and the association let me do whatever I want. So do not worry about it. Then Doc Gu became very happy and said to protagonist, alright, let's renew your contract in the morning. I will also let you move to a whole floor. Protagonist asked to him, right now. I am grateful. But is that really okay? Doc Gu replied to protagonist, of course you are someone who wanted by the big six. Our budget is not small and is far information gathering. Let's try to start closing the gap. Then protagonist signed on the contract and said to Doc Gu, I am grateful. Which floor should I go to? Doc Gu replied to him, on the 77th floor. Protagonist said, okay, I will start packing then. Schedule the Eastern Sea Gate conquest for a week from now. Doc Gu said to him, a week? That long? Wait, are you gonna go after the fiends? Protagonist replied to him, that is right. After I set the bait I will have to wait. That is how you catch a big fish. Then news began top trend on the television screen that Seo Jun-ho to attempt the Eastern Sea Gate. Reporters also began saying that, this is an unprecedented event. If he succeeds, Korea will become the first safe zone in the world without any uncleared gates. The Korean Player Association has confirmed that they renewed their contract with player Seo Jun-ho, thus solidifying their partnership. It has been said that player Seo Jun-ho also refused an offer from the Dokkaebi Guild and remained at the association. That is right. The association super rookie said he would challenge the Eastern Sea Gate. The whole world is watching as they try to figure out how likely. Then there was a player whose name was Cal Signer from Dokkaebi Guild said to Roger, come. Then there was reply that, you called for me. Cal saw the photo of protagonist and said, he is the one who has the Tempest. Then Roger said, they said that it was in Tushar Vichy inventory. Then Cal Sliner replied to him that, protagonist hide the Tempest from the public. He is the one who found evidence that Tushar Vishi was offended by a fiend. He will be wary of us. Roger asked to Siner, shall I go down to the first floor? Klaus said to him, we do not have any proof yet, and it is not worth the risk of running into the association. Especially at a time like this. That is, right, is there anyone left that we can use? Roger said, if we are talking about the first floor. How about the Shadow Brothers? We were planning to use at the Las Vegas auction. They go mad for power. Even among them, they are especially excellent. Then Cal Siner said to Roger, then send them to the Eastern Sea Gate this time. It does not matter whether they kill Seo Jun-ho. Then there was sudden arrival of Sword Saint. Cal Siner said to Roger, get ready to move. Sword Saint Kim Wujong of the Nine Heavens. Even as an archer, I do not have the reach. If it were not for him, I would have retrieved the Tempest. He is mocking me. He further said that, Seo Jun-ho, Cal Siner will watch till your luck runs out. While on other hand protagonist was exercising and looked at the screen. Then he said, did Cal Siner take the bait? Those Americans, the Shadow Brothers. They are joining the raid as medics. That is totally suspicious. Well, I can just ask Secretary Cha to look into them. Now I will spread the energy across the ground to train my magic. It is a bit dangerous. But the method that Skya taught me yields the best results. Then he touched it, and said it is like it is saying hi. He was thinking that I would not be able to avoid using Watch Guard of Darkness at the Eastern Sea Gate. Then he searched the Eastern Sea Gate on the screen and there was result that Eastern Sea Gate is the island of the Forgotten Dragon. Protagonist said, just by looking at the name, the boss monster will most likely be some kind of dragon. Dragons are powerful higher class monsters. It is a boss monster that beginners cannot even touch. I have tried fighting them a few times in the past, but they are a bad match for me because I do not have any flying abilities. Protagonist began thinking that I will either have to grab on and fight on top of it or drag it down to the ground. Then there was message on the phone of protagonist from Secretary Cha that Shadow Brothers are coming. Protagonist said, Secretary is very fast worker. The Shadow Brothers, Vincent and Edvar. They are a two-player team from America. Their specialty is escorting VIP and they are veterans with over 200 successful missions under their belt. They are a special case in which both brothers awakened the shadow skill. This is what they said when they were interviewed on their decision to go to the Eastern Gate. Then reporters asked to both of them, why are you going to Eastern Sea Gate? Then Shadow Brothers replied to them that, we felt Seo Jun-ho overflowing determination. Then reporter asked to them, are you saying it's a guaranteed victory? Then Shadow Brothers replied to them that, let's just call it admiration. He is a player that keeps achieving the impossible. We should be honored to help him clear the final uncleared gate in Korea. Protagonist was also watching their interview on the phone and said, will I be able to use this? Then on the day of raid of Eastern Sea Gate, all reporters were gathered there to interview the players. Doc Ji-yu was also there, saw the reporters and said, the national ones are a given, but even the foreign reporters are all over the place. That just shows how interested everyone is in this raid. Then he asked to protagonist, are you nervous? Protagonist replied to him, I am very nervous. Doc Ji-yu said to him, yeah, you are not nervous. Then he came in anger and again asked to protagonist, you are nervous? Protagonist said to Doc Ji-yu, this crappy game puts you on the edge of your seat. Doc Ji-yu said to him, I told you to get a new phone. Why are you still using it? Anyways, why are you letting yourself get distracted? This is the gate with over 500 onlookers. Then protagonist replied to him, I am not distracted or nervous. I defeated the Frost Queen. Why should I be nervous about a nameless dragon that does not even have a proper name? Doc Ji-yu said to him, yeah, but you are not going in alone. The Shadow Brothers. The fact that there are no other participants means they are probably working with the fiends. They are strong. I feel nervous about the fact that they all be the ones watching your back. Well, we do not have definitive proof, but that is what I sense. I want to call the raid off. That is how uneasy I am. Protagonist replied to him, do not worry too much. Even if they attack me, I have a plan. Then Shadow Brothers looked at protagonist and became very happy. They came near to Jun-ho and said to him, sir, we are your fans. We heard you cleared 2 uncleared gates. With such a frail-looking body, That is amazing. Protagonist replied to them, no big deal. Then Shadow Brothers said to him, wow, what courtesy, we did not accept you to speak English with us. Protagonist said to them, I have a friend from England. Then a brother said to other one, Vita, interpretation feature. Has a slight delay, so I was worked. Then other boy said, well, it should be fine. Then Shadow Brothers said to Protagonist, Korea final uncleared gate. We know how much it means and will put our all into it. Protagonist said to them, do not worry. I came prepared to do anything. Reporters were also therein, listening the conservations of the players and said that, the players are from different countries, but they exchange friendly greetings. If they succeed, Korea will become the most secure safe zone in the world. Then players moved into the gate and reporters began saying that what do you think players are most nervous when challenging a gate? The answer is when they enter. They do not know what conditions or monsters await them, so their senses are most heightened when they enter a gate, but there is a risk that comes with this. Because they are so focused on the battle ahead, they react slower to attacks from behind them. While on other hand in the gate Edvar said to Vincent, it is a chink in the armor. Protagonist looked at chink and asked, is that really a chink? Edvar said, damn it, I missed a god chance. Vincent asked to him, is that an island? Edvar said to Vincent, we failed this time. Let's create another chance later. Then there was a beach and they were walking along that. Edvar said, it is quite breezy, is not it? I did not think there would be such a place inside a gate. Vincent said, where is the nameless dragon or whatever? I do not see any monsters around. Then he asked to Protagonist, do you see anything? Protagonist replied to him, the master of the gate does not even have a proper title. But this feeling is that of one-star gate. Then a Dr. Gown arrived there. Vincent looked at that dragon and said, what? Edvar said, is that the nameless dragon? Vincent said, what size? Edvar said, we have confirmed the location. He asked to Protagonist, how do we hunt it? Then dragon disappeared from there. They said, that bastard, where did he go? No way, you cannot even feel my presence. Then there was message from the system that the forgotten dragon has appeared. Then Protagonist asked to Shadow Brothers, all right, now tell me, you are working with the fiends, or not you? Vincent and Edvar became very angry by looking at dragon. Protagonist was disappeared from there. Edvar said to Vincent, I will distract the dragon, so go find Seo Jun-ho. Vincent asked to Edvar, are you okay on your own? Edvar replied to him, who do you think I am? Bring Protagonist to me once you find him. Vincent began finding Seo Jun-ho. He was angry and said, damn it. When is the last time we have messed up this badly? If this turn out like the Las Vegas auction, we are done for. Then he began shouting that, hey, are you here? Guys, that was today's video. If you enjoy, then please like and subscribe to my channel.